This here is my first attempt at the cosplay in year 10 on muck-up day. First attempt kind of failed a bit, it wasn't really the best day of my life then, so luckily for me I had another day to make up for it. And this is me in year 12 with the second attempt at the cosplay. A little bit better, but still needed some work, and at this point everything was kind of falling apart. And so when I got the invitation to go to Supanova that year, I decided to upgrade this costume to make it exactly what I wanted it to be. And so I started to rip it apart and start from scratch. So essentially we started off with the shirt. I pulled off the sleeves and repinned the sleeves. I also redid the t-shirt layout to make sure the logo was facing inside, not on the outside. No idea why that image was in there, but anywho, there you go. So here's me trying to configure the shirt to make it fit me. And just, yeah, a lot of adjusting and pinning, and quite frankly, I had no idea what I was doing, so yeah, it was very rookie, as you can tell. This actually fucking worked. Oh god, aren't I smart? I'm gonna... And it's got coverage! Oh, aren't I just a genius? I can obviously just tuck that in. What's that? Excuse my... I did it! Now here's the example of me not using my brain very well. I didn't think about the fact of taking this off. This is gonna fucking hurt. Oh. Ow, 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 ow. Okay, never mind. I just didn't know if I was going to get myself stabbed with pins. I've actually done before. Okay, no problems. So after that little ordeal, I moved on from the shirt because I was getting frustrated with it because I had no idea what I was doing. Again, duh. So I moved on to the rest of it. So I started off with, what's this here? Pulling out fabric. This was pretty much all the leftovers that I had, so I had intentions to use it. So after cutting up some strips, oh yes, I was doing the boots. So for the boots, I didn't do those on camera. I essentially just fabric glued a lot of the fabric that I had already had for it onto actual black Kmart boots that I had that I honestly never wore again. So I'm glad I did that. So here I am, I'm really just tidying up the seams, making it look neat, cutting off all the loose bits, and yeah, just giving it a general tidy up. I wanted this to look good, so I had to glue down a lot of stuff to fix it. Again, more gluing. It was really just a lot of experimentation, and there's the cap there. And yeah, ignore the stuff on the ground. That was just some scripts I heard from uni. Not mine, just some exercises. And oh my god, this is taking forever. I am trying them on. Not gonna lie though, these boots were really comfy. And also, oh yes, to cover up the mess at the bottom, I just kind of cut out some cardboard and hot glued it to the bottom of the sole just to kind of keep it all stuck together. Looks hideous, but again, no one's going to look at the bottom of your feet, and besides, you're walking all day. So yeah, that's the boots. I know there's not much of a tutorial on them right now, but it's honestly just boot covers. Essentially, it's pretty easy. So once the boots were done, I moved on to the skirts. So pretty much for this, I was just readjusting the pieces that I had from year 12. And using the bike shorts that I wore underneath, I kind of just adjusted everything to make it fit. This was my first attempt, so I just pinned it down, kind of had the little gap between the leg, which was kind of cool, kind of cyberpunk sci-fi. wrong wording, that's okay. So pretty much I was just doing a lot of tucking in. So yeah, I was tucking in the seam to make it seamless, and didn't like that because it kind of shaved my butt a bit, so I did some more readjusting, and I found the solution. If I pulled down one layer, so it's a bit further down on the bike short, it would cover my butt more. So the top layer would sit there, then I tucked everything in and safety pinned it, because that was my lazy method of sewing, which actually, by the way, works very well if you're quite limited. So pretty much this is just a lot of adjusting here, adjusting the pins, making the folds seem right, a lot of smoothing out. I'm so sorry, this is so boring. So again, I just tucked in the thing and all that. My God, this goes on forever. I am so sorry. So pretty essentially, it was just a lot of tucking and a lot of adjusting to make it right. I was really getting frustrated with this at the time, so I just had to take a little break and then come back to it. But I guess the key was to just try something, but it worked apparently. So now all I have completed is the skirt, which I ended up just safety pinning all to the bike shorts, and the boots are done. Now it was back onto the dreaded shirt. So pretty much I recruited my best friend's mum as well as her, because they actually had sewing machines. So I recruited them and asked me to help. Well, I asked them to help me. Mind you, this was like the night before now. So I was really on a time crunch here. So I was kind of stressed. But luckily they helped me out with everything. So I was very thankful. And yeah, that was that pretty much. And now it was time for the sash. Now, originally I was going to redo the sash and belt entirely. However, due to the fact that I left this very last minute because I was doing uni at the time, so I kind of didn't manage my time very well. Anywho, I didn't have time to actually redo the sash and belt to the way that I wanted it to. However, I did end up having to give instructions to a friend on Discord, so I'm just going to put in the screenshot for the instructions and just capture it from there. Apparently his worked out quite well, so I'd say my instructions were quite good. Call me out in the comments if it was not very clear. But honestly, this shit's so easy, you literally can be fine with it. So pretty much all I was left to do was to just readjust. I had to fix the logo. So I was just cut out a printer. I was so lazy with this, by the way. I just cut it out a thing on the printer, got it wrong the first time, so I had to revert back to the bloody DVDs, checked the photo, re-glued it, glued it on, and then by the time we knew it, it was time to go to bed, and it was Supanova day. So yay, 6 a.m. start, here we go. So yeah, it was Supanova day essentially. So pretty much just getting ready, putting on my usual makeup, very neutral just to make it work. I think I tried to contour my face to look a bit sharper than what it already was, but honestly this was gender bent, so I just did whatever pretty much. Curled my hair properly this time. And and one other thing as well, because this kind of pops up. The cap I made in year 10, so I didn't have to do anything with that, but the template's really easy. It's pretty much just think about the shape of it and cut out multiple pieces and all that sort of thing. Also, to attach the cap to my head, I just used a lot of bobby pins and kind of just strategically tried to pin it to my head so it could actually stay in place, because by itself it does not actually stay in place. You honestly have to bobby pin it. I basically could have gotten videos of the actual costume and all that, but we didn't, so we just took a shit ton of photos. And for the first time at Supanova, I honestly had no idea people were going to even recognise me, because hala, I am Australian, not many people know what Thunderbirds is. But it turns out there was a lot of people, and I mean a lot of people actually knew who I was. I approached Star Trek? Was it Star Trek? I think it was Star Trek. A Star Trek bench, and they actually were so impressed with it. They were so proud. So many people asked me for photos, And there was even a little kid who dressed as Tag Virgil, and he was so cute. I got a photo with him, and oh my gosh, it was such a good day that day. Honestly needed it. For someone who was doing uni, she bloody well needed it. So basically we went as a group, so there was probably, I think there was about 6 of us. So in that group we had me, the Thunderbird, we had Rimmer and Mr. Flibble from Red Dwarf. We also had the Joker. If you follow Gypinator films, then you kind of figure out the thing from there. We had someone from Demon Slayer. We had a Bellatrix Lestrange and the girl from The Shining. I can't remember her name, I'm sorry. And pretty much when we were walking around as well, we also ran into a lightsaber battle thing. So that was pretty epic to watch. So cool. Anywho, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed this. If my instructions are very bad, please just call me out. And catch me next time to see me attempt the 2004 costumes. That's going to be a fun challenge.